Hello, everybody. Week 3 of the Prep Rally brings us here to Warrior Stadium in Waunakee, home of the two-time defending WIAA Division II state champions. He's Dennis Semrau. I'm Rob Hernandez, and we start with our look back to last week and the big games of the week, Dennis. We called it last week at Oregon. Potosi Blackhawk, every bit as good as we expected it to be. The game goes down to the final minute. Blackhawk scores on a 93-yard drive. Merrick Maythaler to Hayden Schleem on a 24-yard touchdown pass gives Blackhawk the lead, but Potosi marches right down, and Tim Fritz to Alex Wright in the end zone, last play of the game, and it was 15-13. Potosi pulls out the big win and takes command in the Six Rivers Conference. Dennis, top that for a game of the week.
DeForest and Edgewood.
I knew you could do it.
Right. Madison Edgewood had to play Waunakee the week before. Then they take on Northern Badger-powered DeForest and win 24-20. Chris Wells, a 69-yard touchdown run. Seth White, returning starter quarterback, passed for one and ran for another touchdown. And that game wasn't decided at the end. It was a case where Edgewood got the lead, DeForest tied it, and then Edgewood got a 10-point lead and held on at the end.
Let's go to our performers of the week in Week 2, Dennis, and I'll start with Thomas Vandergallen. That's right, a kicker out of Randolph, my performer of the week. Not only did he pin Partyville deep in their own territory, I believe Partyville started inside their own 27 out of 11 offensive possessions, but Thomas also kicked field goals of 22 and 29 yards. The final score of that game, 20-14 Randolph. So Randolph, behind their kicker, knocks off Partyville. Those two teams won the respective divisions of the Trailways Conference last year. Randolph with the upper hand this year.
A kicker.
You're probably going to go back to the skill position.
We got to go back to a running back.
That's you.
Adam Vesterveld had 6 touchdowns for Parker. However, Justin Mardig from Mount Horeb-Barneveld had a knee injury in practice on Wednesday. Wasn't sure if he was going to play. All he did was take the opening kickoff, 81 yards for a touchdown. Ended up rushing for 182 yards and 2 more scores in a 37-14 win over Oregon, at Oregon.
Let's turn to Week 3, Dennis, and games of the week. I'll start with mine in the area. Broadhead Judah at Walworth Bigfoot. Bigfoot got 100-plus yards from both Kenneth Walker and Mason Dixon in a big win last week over Delavan Darien. They take on their perennial rivals in the Southern Rock Valley Conference in Week 1 of conference play. That'd be the Broadhead Judah Cardinals. We talked about it last week. Broadhead Judah in Week 1 loses 14-0 against River Valley. They turn around, knock off Darlington in a big way. Final score of that game, 45-19. The Cardinals also had 2 100-yard rushers in Trent Jordan and Jesse DeLorme. Should be a great fast ball game. A lot of two teams like to run the football, and that'll be Friday night, 7 o'clock down at Walworth. My game of the week in the Southern Rock Valley Conference. Dennis, we have to go right back here for your game of the week, don't we?
Right, and get here early. 5 o'clock, it won't be too early to get a parking place for this one. Waunakee, which hasn't lost since the 90s at home. And one of their big losses during the Pat Rice era was to a Mount Horeb-Barneveld team, but it was the year Waunakee won a state title. So we'll see what happens later this year. However, the Mount Horeb-Barneveld has a great running attack. They run the spread offense, a little bit different, so I'm sure Pat Rice has gone to the drawing board to figure out how to stop that. Waunakee is off to a great start again. They haven't lost a game in 2 years.
That's right. And they haven't lost, was it the loss to Reedsburg a few years ago, but before that, they lost at Mount Horeb-Barneveld 2002, so it's been almost 10 years since Mount Horeb-Barneveld's been able to beat Waunakee. It's been 10 years since a lot of teams have been able to beat Waunakee, so that'll be a great game right here, Friday night, Warrior Stadium, Mount Horeb-Barneveld against Waunakee, Northern Badger Conference Showdown, our WisconsinPrepZone.com game of the week, and don't forget to check out our live blog on WisconsinPrepZone.com. For Dennis Semrau, I'm Rob Hernandez. Thanks for watching the Prep Rally. We'll see you at the stadium.